Certainly. Hey, we're live.
All right, hey, we're live.
All right. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. Is that it? How come I forgot my own spiel? Another exciting episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamie.
I'm Steve.
We are just a couple of guys who like beer.
Think you should too.
That's right. All right. Today we're brewing beer.
Just like last time, the time before that, the time before that.
And the time before that, if you can remember that far back. It's a while back.
It is.
So, pretzels. So today, let's see. First of all, I forgot my glasses, so I will be squinting a lot today. And when I say I forgot my glasses, I mean I forgot them at work. And then they locked the door. And they're not open on Sundays, so I can't go get them.
You cannot get the glasses.
That's right. Lots of squinting. You should have seen church today. Because I'm trying to sight read and sing.
Yeah,
I did a lot of not singing today.
Just look pretty there and smile.
Here I am supporting things. But yeah, so anyways, I am brewing a Smokey Porter, which I designed in 15 minutes. So let me look up my Smokey Porter recipe. So we're going to use Y yeast 1028, which is a London ale yeast. Breeze Amber LME 6.6 pounds, not 9.9. I forgot to change that. I'll change that in a minute.
I get your fire going while you're talking.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. So the hops are Willamette, and we're going to throw those right at the beginning of the boil. And then East Kent Goldings, and we're going to throw those in at the 10-minute mark. The grains are Crystal 150, because it is a porter, so it's going to be dark. Golden Naked Oats for some nice, thick, creamy mouthfeel. Black malt, 12 ounces. That can't be right. Oh, it is right. 12 ounces of black malt. 3 ounces of British chocolate malt, and then the Rauch, or Rausch, as they said. He said Rausch. Our guy said Rausch. So let's go with Rausch. I would say Rauch,
Right.
and then, like, want to cook a sausage. Because it looks German. Germans like sausages, right? So 6 ounces of that. Basically, the overall idea is we're going to have a nice dark beer, and it is going to have, like,
It's going to be obsidian. It's going to be very dark.
yeah.
But that's fine. That's what it's supposed to be.
Well, I let him talk me into it, and we'll see what happens. One of these days, he's going to be like, I think I'd do this. And I'll be like, I think I won't.
I'm not going to do it this
I
time.
think I want what I want. But for now, I'm good with it. So far, he hasn't failed us. The one thing I need to do, instead of just randomly boiling water.
Oh, yeah. Start your steam.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to do a spring IPA. It's one of the seasonal recipes that our brew suppliers. Some kind of redundant, doesn't it?
It is redundant. There's no
What about
sound spot.
Brew ingredients suppliers. Sort of their recipes, their in-house recipes when they're seasonals. I didn't really decide. I decided not to come up with anything this time around, so I just do one of theirs. Now it's not one of their standard ones. It's a seasonal, as I've said a couple times now. And spring, because we are in spring. So let me read you the description. This year's spring IPA, fruit-forward hops leading the charge. Flame out and dry hop with cryo pop to ensure the hop aromas all the way through. So it's going to be pretty spicy as far as the hop aroma flavor goes. My ingredients are 6.6 pounds of golden light malt extract, 1 pound of golden light malt extract. My steeping grains are 1 pound of Bollinger Munich and half pound of Crystal 20. So it's not going to be a dark beer. It's going to be kind of a yellowy golden color if it comes out the way I'm thinking.
Which is interesting because your last beer was a black IPA.
Right?
Look at you, Mr. Bipolar Beer Brewer.
Hops, I will be using Columbus at the 60-minute, and then at the 0-minute, Mosaic, Talus, and Sativa with a C. And then my dry hop is what they call cryo pop. And the dry hopping will occur during secondary fermentation after about 2 weeks in primary. My yeast is Y yeast 1056 American Ale, and it'll ferment ideally between 60 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. My process will be identical to anything you've watched before. I'll steep my water, or I'll steep my grains, for 30 minutes at 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Pull the grain bag out, let it drain, and then I'll get the water warming up and boiling, and then I'll put in my my malts and start the process. It'll boil for an hour, and then I'll take it off the flame and rapidly cool it down to below 100 degrees. In my case, I'll probably take it down to closer to 70 degrees with our wort chiller, and then I'll get it in the bottle, get it in the carboy, add yeast, and tuck it away for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, spring IPA. I did have a little taste of it. Something they had brewed. It's very kind of light on the palate, and it has a kind of a fruitiness to it. Not like super citrusy, but it's just kind of a soft fruit flavor. I don't know how to describe it even. That makes sense. So the word we were trying to think of when we were talking to Wendy last night was terpenes. We were talking about like flavors and things.
Terpenes?
Yeah, terpenes.
Sounds like some sort of lizard race out of D&D.
It's what's in cannabis that gives different flavors and
stuff. Terpenes.
Yeah, terpenes.
Oh. Eventually, it's going to get added. So, and we are drinking a Scotch ale from what, Boundary Bay?
I think it's Boundary Bay. I can't remember.
The bottle's blue.
It's either Boundary Bay or Port Townsend. One of those two.
Mm. It's definitely Boundary Bay then, because the Port Townsend bottle looks completely different. The ghost is visiting us.
Right?
You weren't supposed to leave, and he left. He's gone. I'm alone.
I grabbed the bottle, but I just realized I took the bottle out of the plastic cycle.
I was like, so early in the broadcast to be alone.
All right. Yeah, I think it's Boundary Bay. The dark blue bottle.
Come on. All the way down. I'm going to have to bend the damn spoon.
Put a U shape in it. Well, I have parachute cord if you wanted to lower it a little more here.
Yeah. You'll get
We've done it before.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, once enough weight soaks in there, to kind of pull them down. And stretch your sack a little bit.
The problem is, if I could get it to sit just like that,
Right.
but it won't. I'll just hold it. There we go. Ah, ooh.
Yeah, I need to rack. I wanted to rack the black IPA today, but that's when I realized I didn't have a full water lock. I'm like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I have a problem.
Problem. Yeah, we may have made more beer than we could drink.
After today, I'll have 4 beers in the pipeline. So, yeah.
I'm ready to help you, man. I can sleep in here.
Well, 2 of them are already racked. So, the one I racked last week, I can start carbonating next week. The one I racked today, that can go a couple weeks.
Well, I'm seeing you got 2 kegs sitting there outside.
Oh, yeah, there's empty. Because there's a carboy in there lagering. So,
Oh, yeah, right.
So I'll just make it room. Now, the first beer that's going to be going to the keg will be the Mac and Jack Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
So that one has another week in secondary, and I'll move it over.
Well, the one thing you can do is you can use the kegs as storage.
Mm-hmm.
You can send them in there. I mean,
and then I will.
But eventually, we're gonna have to drink that stuff. We're gonna have to throw a party.
Yeah. There'll also be some work come over or something. I'll stand around the garage and drink homebrew.
Right? Yeah. I like this idea.
Yeah.
On Saturday or something. and crank up some Barry Manilow.
Yeah. Holy man.
At the Copacabana. You know, actually, that dude gets such a bad rap because I mean, his music, the genre that he wrote was so just kind of didn't have a lot of teeth. But you know, at the same time, with the exception of the whole prostitution thing that Madonna's got going on, her music isn't all that edgy either. It's just
I haven't
pop.
kept up in a long time. I have no idea.
Well, no, I'm talking back when we were. Actually,
Oh.
I mean, now Madonna is. I think she finally accepted that she's not hip and happening anymore. I mean, how old is she?
Probably her 60s.
You think? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being 60.
No.
There is something wrong with being 60 and trying to appeal to the 14-year-old crowd.
Doesn't work anymore, man.
I mean, there are certain people who can do it. John Williams. But these 14-year-olds that he appeals to are the Bandcamp geeks. With the headgear and the braces, playing D&D in their mom's basement with pizza.
Wow. Stereotype much?
A lot.
Oh, Lord.
Stereotypes come from somewhere.
True. They do.
No, I'm just being silly. But you know what I'm saying. You know, not the mainstream. You know, it's kids who are. And I love John Williams. I'm a huge John Williams fan. I think John Williams is almost the Beethoven of the late 20th, early 21st century.
Right. Yeah, no, it definitely shows in his musical scores, you know.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing film scorer, and he definitely has a style. I mean, you can hear John Williams. You know?
Like, yep, that's John Williams.
That's a John Williams piece.
Who's the other big one? Hans Zimmer, right?
Yeah, but Hans Zimmer's a little weird. Because Hans Zimmer writes a scoring company. I wouldn't even call it a studio. It's like a film score company. And there are a lot of ghostwriters that work in there. You know, in ghostwriting, some people choose that method to work their way up. You know, they ghostwrite, and then maybe they make it to the credits, and then they get to the next step and the next step. I mean, film scores are kind of weird because of the way that films work, almost all of it's work for hire. So the studio owns the copyright to the music, you know, which I think is kind of a dumb thing. Yeah, me and my non-glasses. I think that's 120.
You're not gonna read that?
Pretty sure. No, I can see good enough. It's just all the letters are like doubled and stuff.
Oh. Got like a haze around them and things.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the neck. So in any case, so yeah, a lot of your film music, you know, the composers don't actually own the rights to the music. Although I do think that they might get what they call residuals. Residuals are kind of like royalties. I don't know what they are exactly. Because I don't think they're exactly like royalties, because royalties are money that you get paid because someone uses your thing.
Right.
Right, that's very fun. Residuals are more like you were part of this, and so part of your deal for getting paid is that we give you 1% of whatever this thing makes, or 0.5%. You know, I think, oh, 0.5%. Yeah, 0.5% of $200 million is a chunk of change.
Right. It's like, adds up.
Yeah, you know. And then if that keeps going over the years, you know, how much money, if you got like 1% residuals off Star Wars, how much money does that man have?
Gosh, so much, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I know Jack Nicholson did it with The Shining. He actually did that. He reduced his salary and took residuals, you know, a percentage of the profits. And that did really well.
Worked out again, yeah.
It's really weird because most Stephen King movies are kind of, his books are like amazing and the movies are kind of like, eh?
Yeah.
Like The Langoliers.
That wasn't very good.
No, it was really bad.
Yeah.
And It, all of them. I don't care. They weren't, nobody's talking about It. People still talk about The Shining.
Right.
The Shining was like, wow. It was an amazing book. I read It in one night.
Jeez.
Now you gotta finish the book, and monsters come out and eat you. And it was a particularly nasty monster. I didn't want it to come out.
Never read the book. I don't think. I can't remember if I did or not. But I remember the old '90s television version of the movie with what was that actor? That British actor. He played the butler in Clue, and
Right. If you hadn't said anything, and he was Rocky Horror Picture
yeah,
Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. That guy. Yeah, he played it in that one. But
Tim
he looked more
Curry.
like a, yeah, that's right, Tim Curry. Yeah, but he actually looked more like a clown, you know. Whereas I know the movie version, the modern day movie version, he had a clown look. He just looked unnatural always, even in clown form. I thought.
Well, that's probably because it was CGI. They probably mixed CGI with
yeah.
to make it.
Yeah.
Like there was a movie called Alita Battle Warrior Princess or Battle Princess.
Yeah, it's anime stuff.
Yeah, but it was live action, but then they included CGI aspects
Overlay type
over the
stuff,
top.
yeah.
So like her eyes were all, she had like these big googly
Big
eyes.
Japanese eyes, yeah, the big jet animation eyes.
Big Japanese anime eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie's okay. I mean, for a sci-fi movie, but me personally, I'm just not really into the anime thing, you know.
Well, and it was, juvenile fiction.
Yeah,
So
not meant for 45-year-old guy, you know.
the plot was not that deep. Although apparently 45-year-old women really dig that stuff. Twilight, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Biggest audience is middle-aged moms.
Seriously.
My wife freaking chased me around the house with Twilight. Literally chased me around the house. Sitting there, living room, doing my thing, whatever it was, reading a book or something. And she sits down next to me and she's watching Twilight and tilted so I can see it. And I'm like, yep, okay. And I got up and moved. 5 minutes later, she sits next to me, doesn't say a word. Tilt. I'm like, okay. So I moved again. And she moved again. And then I went outside and I won because she's allergic to outside.
Nice. Yeah, I sat through 2 movie theater presentations of Twilight movies for my wife.
You're more of a man than I. Holy crap. 2?
2 of them.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't remember which ones they were, but whichever ones were out at the time. It wasn't the first one, it was like the second and third one, I think.
Well, so obviously I did see pieces and parts, but it was really bad acting. Bad acting, bad directing. I didn't,
Yeah,
I mean, beyond the fact that it was, a female teeny bopper movie. Female teeny bopper movie, okay, yeah, that's not my thing, but it was, we're looking at working up towards boiling there.
Yeah, and she, my wife had read the books as well. But she was a big fan, just because she liked the books. But she was, at the time she was young, I mean, she still is young, you know what I mean. When Twilight came out, I mean, that was like what, 10 years ago, if not more. It was all a big thing. So you do that, my wife's in her 20s,
Right.
Pride for that, At least 12 years ago, so yeah, she would have been like 25, 24, 25 when she was all into that. No, she didn't really care. As far as like, oh my god, I gotta watch. I think she's still like a fan, kind of how I'm still a fan of certain things that I liked when I was growing up. Like, oh sure, some of the fantasy stuff I was into. And it's fine. I don't care. You can be a fan all you want. Are you at 10?
Oh yeah, we're at 160.
Oh okay. Then I'm going to get started.
We're gonna let that go ahead and go out.
Wait a minute. We start when you're 10, or we start when you're done?
We start at 10. We start when I'm at 10.
I couldn't remember when we were doing mine.
Yeah.
We only have the one work show to share, so
Right, and yours is slower than mine.
Yeah. Slower to warm. Oh, excuse me.
But not that much slower, because we do want to get done before tomorrow morning.
Yeah, ideally, sure. Protect my stack.
There we go. Now we're all the way under. Jeez, all right.
You may submerge yourself.
And I need to get a little flame going. happens if you do it too hot? You ever read on that?
I don't know. That's garbage. Here. More snacks.
More pretzels!
What did you get? Those little sourdough chips where they were? They're in the truck.
Same brand, but I got the honey mustard and onion ones.
Oh, okay.
You should go grab those in a minute.
Together. Truck block up with my keys. I'll grab my keys. I'll just go ahead and grab it real quick.
Okay. I'll be right here.
It's over there. Alright. Here's your
Sweet.
honey mustard.
Pretzel chunks.
Pretzel chunky things.
So before you fill the beers, we need to do the breakfast ale.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So today, in desperation, searching for gear to put new beer into, I racked my breakfast ale. And so we always sample it. We always sample our beers between racking and everything, just to see how they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought it tasted pretty good. Not too bad. You don't gotta chug it, dude. That's what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the thermometer. Alright, I think I can turn my flame back on super, super low. Where's the fire device?
Yeah, haven't you broken 100 yet?
So terpenes.
terpenes.
Terpenes. Those are for weed, though.
Yeah, it's what's in cannabis that gives it different characteristics, like piney or citrusy or whatever.
So are they the same things in hops?
I'm guessing,
Because hops is related to, marijuana.
Yeah, part of the cannabinoid family type thing. I don't know how close, like cousin or something, but I don't know exactly how.
Second cousin, stepfather's college friend's roommate.
What does that make us? Absolutely
Nothing. Today's score was all about spoofs and parodies. They didn't play anything from Spaceball, so interestingly.
Spaceballs.
Talked about the Galaxy Quest. 200. There's some good stuff.
Maybe
Apparently
Spaceballs
there's-
is too old for what they were trying to do. Because Spaceballs in the 80s.
Yeah, but the thing is that the score goes all the way back to the beginning of film music.
Oh,
Like they play scores from like pre-talkies.
oh, okay.
I mean, not very often, but I mean, like,
Well, I've heard them talk about scores from like the 50s and stuff, and 40s, and
oh yeah,
back the episodes I caught.
and they'll play stuff from the golden age of Hollywood.
Right.
But man, when you look back through the different scores, man, the sound of Hollywood is completely different. Stuff from the 50s and 60s, very melodic. Melodies, themes, all that fun stuff. And now it's all texture. Like take Hans Zimmer's stuff. With the exception of Pirates of the Caribbean, which by the way is a rehash of something else he did. I was listening to the score and there was another movie. I can't remember what it was. I mean, it's not that super important. But I was listening to the score of this movie, and this was like way before Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm listening, and I'm hearing the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like,
You just
You just
regurgitated this.
pulled that off the shelf and put it into the Pirates of the Caribbean. So, anyhow, but if you look at Bach or Beethoven or anybody, look at any of the great composers, they do that all the time. You'll listen to their music and you're like, wait a minute, you used that 4 symphonies ago. It's like, well, yeah, but it's mine.
Use.
Yeah. It was good. I can use it again. This is slightly different.
Just a variation on a theme, as they say.
Exactly. So the liquid malts are warming up, right?
Yeah, they're next to a baseboard heater.
Okay, cool.
It's may or may not be on. I don't know. I mean, it's attached to a thermostat, so
Got you.
it was on when I put them up next to it to warm them up. But then we can put them in hot water for a little bit if we need to soften them a little more.
Well, that'll be all right. We can dump hot water without burning ourselves.
Oh,
Let's try not to boil anything over.
right.
No repeats of last week. I feel really bad about that.
I just scrubbed my boiling rack here.
And you mopped the floor. I mopped the floor.
No, you mopped the floor, not me.
Well, that was last week after the disaster, but you had mopped the floor.
right.
And
It's
then
void.
we spilled starchy, sticky wart all over it.
And I took the burning rack outside and I filled that thing full of soap water and just put that aggressive brush and scrubbed everything real well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that scorched sugar everywhere?
Yeah, just try to get all that stuff off of there. I mean, it may not be 100%, but whatever. Better than it was.
Guess what?
What's that?
The Cybertruck is no more.
Where are they? They canned it, huh?
They canceled the project. And Musk said everybody's going to get a full refund. Right? But they just it's just not going to happen. Which I get.
They say why?
Cost overruns, and it just
Oh.
wasn't making it to where he wanted it to be or where Tesla wanted it to be, which is fine. I mean, that thing was kind of a doomed project from the start. He just pushed too
Just weren't ready
far.
for it yet. Yeah,
It's like, it looks horrible.
yeah, it did. It looked like another movie.
I mean, if you look at that truck though, it's probably a pretty good aerodynamic shape. So the best aerodynamic shape is the aircraft wing, right? The teardrop shape. That is the most aerodynamic shape. So pickup trucks are close to that, kind of with, they got the blunt nose form and the cab up front, and then they kind of tail off.
Taper off, yeah.
But they still got all these jagged angles where turbulence builds up, and that actually creates drag on the vehicle.
Right. Yeah, especially like the very squared front end kind of trucks, man. It's all drag, dude.
Right. But like a lot of our sports cars though, they're built backwards.
Oh.
If you think about for aerodynamics, they are built very backwards because they're pointy at the front and then they're big at the rear. And so they have all sorts of turbulence, creates all sorts of drag. We overcome it with horsepower, and that's cool. But
right. Or spoilers.
Yeah. Well, spoilers help with downforce, but the air wing that's the one that slips through the air most easily, and there's the least amount of turbulence at the tail end.
Right.
That's why we use it to make airplanes fly. So the Cybertruck hit on those, and if you're an electric vehicle going for efficiency, then it's like, yeah,
kind of need that, yeah.
But then there was the whole cool factor, which was it's like there's no cool. This looks like, I don't know, it looked like the taxi cab out of Blade Runner. It really did.
Yeah. It was just too futuristic. It was too far ahead of its time.
It was too far ahead, and it was all angular and stuff. And it didn't help that the window broke when they claimed it was bulletproof.
Oh, yeah.
That was really bad.
But yeah, I can understand that.
But I think the other thing is, so Rivian already has a truck that they drove all the way across the United States. So they have an electric truck that they drove across the United States. It's stupid expensive, north of $100,000. It's a luxury half-ton thing. Yeah. One of those trucks for the anatomically challenged male crowd who I own a pickup truck. That's right. When your fingernails are manicured, that's a problem. You should drive a Honda Fit. I know, there I go with the stereotypes again. I'm comfortable with it. I don't care.
Whatever, man. You do you.
I work in an industry where they exist all over the place. So do you!
Yeah. I know. Alright, at 120. Getting there. Getting there.
Thermometer.
Oh, excuse me. Kind of gassy in my stomach today. Hope that doesn't turn into foamy beer gut again.
Oh, that would suck.
I ate some spicy stuff earlier, which might be contributing to that. But jalapenos on it, just some
You and your spicy
jalapeno cheese, like hot dogs.
Jalapeno cheese hot dogs.
Yeah, it's like jalapeno chunks in the end of the hot dog with some cheese, and then I put some chili over it. Put jalapenos out of a jar on top of that with some sour cream.
So I stereotype, and you treat yourself like you're 15. It was good knowing you. Can I have your car when you die? Dude, that was horrible. Just a description of that food.
Not healthy.
Not at all.
Well, the hot dogs I need to eat. There's the last two in the pack, and I don't want to go bad. So
Right, I gotcha.
the chili was leftover chili. So I was like, oh, got something to get rid of,
Oh, I do that.
Oh, I know. It was not healthy.
I'm every bit as bad as you. I definitely had a rice and beans and fried mixed veggies wrap the other day. It actually wasn't too bad.
Anything can go in a tortilla, man.
I know, that's what it is, like God's gift to the bread world.
How's that water lock look? Maybe to top it off. Did it freeze? Well, that thing's really low. We got some water. It's supposed to be over here.
Oh, well, it's low. We're still here. We just left. We're pouring beers and stuff. Well, leave Steve's right there. Put mine right there. Now we'll just wait for Steve to come back. And we'll dump all these pretzel pieces away.
Here we go, whatever's in there.
So, while we're waiting for Steve, this, turn it around. So this is a breakfast ale I quite literally made for drinking at breakfast. It's low ABV. I only used 6 pounds of DME. It's got 4 ounces of honey malt, 4 ounces of caramel 20, 2 ounces of special roast, 2 ounces of victory, and the hops were 1 Centennial hop at 60 minutes and 1 Citra hop at 10 minutes. And the original gravity was 1.054. It's not done yet. This isn't carbonated. This is just the sampling. I sampled a lot. So it is flat. Tastes all right. It's a little bit bitter. It's got a little bit of a bitter finish, actually. And as conditions, it will definitely get better. They all do. I wonder what that magic is.
This is a breakfast beer, right?
Yes, designed to drink for breakfast.
Okay, sorry. Oh, light.
It's supposed to be light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not want to. I don't understand. I see some of these breakfast beers, like breakfast beer, French toast maple bacon stout, 200% ABV. It's like, who the heck wants to drink that for breakfast?
Yeah, I know, right?
Kind of like those people that drink Bloody Mary for breakfast. Wow. Not my thing.
Not my thing either. I think that's a little hair of the dog, man. Like, I got a hangover. Make sure that me cure this Bloody Mary.
Guess so.
I don't know. I'm just kind of being silly with it.
I mean, a Bloody Mary does have a lot of good stuff in it.
Maybe I didn't imagine. Yeah.
Tomato juice. They get crazy with
Another
it.
bit of celery stick in there. A little Tabasco in this sometimes.
I've seen spiced green beans in there and olives.
I've never
and
seen
all
that.
sorts of- Also, it's like just a freaking salad in a cup with vodka.
Some vodka.
You at temp yet?
Getting there. I'm over 140. It's like 142 or something like that if I could assign a number to it. This thing doesn't have that much precision.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost like 150. I mean, it's past the little red dot for the 140 mark, so I can probably about 3 or 4 more minutes. I should be able to start my timer. So, which I might as well prep because I'm all about the prep. Okay, this. On that calendar, my clock timer is an hour, 13 minutes. All right.
Oh,
Man, did you make coffee? Your beer's so dark.
yeah, I
I'm
made
gonna need that.
like
Excuse me.
Ben taught me to put just a little too much black malt in there.
Yeah, it'd be fine. It's gonna dilute anyway when you add the other
I
2.5
know.
gallons of water. So
I need to aim and flame back. The reason my thing is so cold is because my fire went
you go.
Am I ready? I think I'm at temp, man. I even need to bring it down a little bit. But stabilize. Yeah, I'm definitely at temp. So I'm going to bring that down and kick off the timer. Sweet. Yeah, I think that's already going to be a nice light golden color in the end. I don't know what that is on the Lobelon scale, but I know it's going to be pretty pale, you know, but in comparison to other IPAs out there, which is fine because it's spring beer. It's supposed to be light and crispy, and as per the description, kind of fruity, maybe even a little citrusy. We'll see.
See, I decided to make a Smokey porter because I was sitting at work and I asked my buddy, what's a good beer to go with steak?
Oh yeah, he said porter, huh?
I think so. The other guy said, oh, some sort of light beer. I'm like, dude, you think Coors Light is heavy beer. You don't get to talk.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything specific. You know, I guess like the foodie types they probably could recommend what to pair with different kinds of food.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know. It's like same thing in the wine world. Like, oh, you should only have red wine with red meats, and white wines or blushes with turkeys and things. White meats or but do whatever you want, man. Drink what you want. Drink. Pair it with what you want.
Oh,
You
yeah,
wanna drink a
absolutely.
Coors Light and eat a 96-ounce steak? Have fun.
Yeah. Have an IPA and a chocolate chip cookie. It's all you, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, man.
That is definitely super dark.
Well, porters are classic dark. Never heard of a light porter, light and color porter.
Yeah, in common language, those stouts are darker.
Yeah.
And this is going to be darker than that Imperial Stout, I think. Ton of black malt.
Side. My daughter's trying to make ramen noodles in the microwave. It's like, you don't make ramen in the microwave. And then she tried to argue with me, well, that's how, her and her friend did it. It's like, okay, that doesn't make it right. It's because you did it with your friend that way, you know what I mean?
Well, did it work?
No. I mean, maybe to them, to their little limited experience satisfaction. Like, yeah, it's fine enough for me, but it's not how you do that. Because now I can hear the microwave beeping over and over and over because she doesn't know how to set it properly.
Well, think about making ramen in the microwave. The only thing you can do is get the water hot and let it sit.
I know.
That's it.
She's nuking. I'm about to go in there and take over and be like, no. It's not how you do that. You're gonna make ramen. You're gonna make it right.
I've made ramen in a coffee pot before.
You're not gonna make a big mess in my kitchen. I just cleaned up, so we have counter space for brewing and stuff.
Kitchen you just cleaned up.
What's so funny about that?
You sound like a middle-aged housewife that watches Twilight. Stereotype much?
No.
Yes, I do. I get it though, man.
Well, it's annoying when I make, I do the effort to prepare for something and then somebody else comes behind me and just messes it all up because they're not thinking about what they're doing. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I did that to someone today at church. Didn't mean to. They had all these hash browns, and apparently they're supposed to cut them into squares. I don't know exactly how it was going to work.
No.
But I scooped them out and put them in a bowl so that people would have hash browns. I did it wrong.
Oh,
Felt bad.
well,
But they weren't there. They needed to be there.
all right. All right, well, there's my wife. You know what that means for me.
That means you're leaving.
I gotta help with groceries. I got a sick child, so she's not gonna help. The other one is upstairs, and she's probably oblivious to anything. Living in her stupid little TikTok world. Not a fan at all of that service.
It'll fade just like anything. Just like Facebook, just like Twitter, just like MySpace. It'll go away.
Oh, really? They're trying to fucking make ramen in my school. Not only on this. It's fucking annoying. I said to the wife, she's so confident. They're dumb, stupid. And it's just like, oh, now I have to make it right. All right. Oh, you need a ladle.
Yeah.
Let me check my temp and I go grab your ladle. So good.
You need to let those guys drain for a bit first.
Yeah. I understand. Lay a little for you.
Thanks, sir. I also need my malts,
Oh,
or my Viennese.
yeah.
I got
Oh. Let's kill mine a little bit. That started to get a little on the high side.
ready to get sticky. Oh, I'm gonna try and avoid it.
It's unavoidable, man.
I know.
Good idea.
Seemed like a good idea. Still gonna get sticky. That's just the way life is.
Oh, sorry. Does yours have a dry malt as well? I can't remember if you said it.
No, just 2 tubs of
Okay.
the amber.
Yeah, mine has 2 tubs plus a pound of dry malt as well. But it's an IPA, so it's supposed to have a lot. That way there's a lot of sugar to consume. It's not even
Right.
that high ABV. It's 5.95, so we'll just round it up to 6, which is standard, kind of standard for an IPA, you know,
Mm-hmm.
within the ballpark.
I didn't even get any drippies on that one.
Be fancy,
Not fancy, but also not sticky.
right? All right, what do we have next, beer-wise?
So let's go ahead and hit the growler,
Okay.
which may be a Newcastle clone. I think, because I think you're right. We already drank the Kolsch, and I think we drank the switched yeast beer. I think we already drank that. I'm pretty sure that's a Newcastle clone.
We drank the switch yeast already?
I think we drank that already.
Oh, you're not done yet. Pretty sure orange juice, man.
I know, right? You gotta admit, that's not quite as good as the Danger beer you made that one time. That was
That's not finished yet, though.
What?
Your breakfast beer's not finished yet.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's not.
It could be better than Danger beer.
This is not a Newcastle clone. Why does it have floaties in it? Yeah, it's probably sediment in the bottom of the cave. Oh well. The nice thing,
I think that's the accident beer.
which makes me wonder what happened to the Newcastle clone. I could have sworn I made one recently.
Maybe I did also, but maybe you didn't.
I think I went Kolsch, accidental beer.
There's nothing else in the pipeline.
Yeah, no, okay, so I think we just finished
Or
the
what'd you
Kolsch.
make last brew day?
That was the last beer was the breakfast lager.
The breakfast
one we
lager.
just tasted.
Okay.
Okay, so we just finished the Kolsch, just floated that cake.
Right.
This is
I think it
therefore
was supposed to be your other one, man. I think this is the accident.
okay. So this is the accident.
Well, not your accident, my accident.
No. Our accident. We're in a team. This is a team effort. We do this together.
It's my culture.
Well, I have a feeling that this lager that I made, I don't know if it's my recipe or I don't think this is going to be an incredibly amazing beer, to be honest. As per our tastes, you know,
Right.
I like heavy dark beers. You like hoppy IPA beers. Well-behaved, golden, middle of the road beers. Neither one of us are like big fans of those.
We kind of live in the extremes, the extreme zones.
We do.
When it comes to our beers. It's all right, man. Uh-oh, I'm gonna add some Chinese.
I need to add the rest of my stuff and get up to boil here.
Yeah. I have about 11 minutes remaining on my steep, and I'm still at good temperatures, so they don't even need any flame yet.
Oh, I gotta tell you, that smells good. Boy, does that smell good. It smells like it would go with the steak.
I guess you can have yourself a porterhouse steak with your porter beer.
I will stop coming over here if you do that again. No, I won't.
I do it.
But let's not deny that that was a horrible joke.
It was really wide open. I'll be the first to admit that.
Ow, damn, that's hot.
Right. Let me get the ladle from you.
I'm gonna need it one more time.
Oh. I thought you were done.
Oh.
But excuse-moi.
We can go ahead and crank that. We're gonna hold it different this time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna decline that offer from Rob for that gear. I just don't need all that stuff, man.
No, yeah.
I don't need any more carboys. I guess, no, I don't need more carboys.
So you got what? You got 2 primaries, right?
I got 2 primaries. I've got a lot of secondaries spread out between your house and then what I have, and then my, Jonathan, he's got one
I
too.
think
So.
all the secondaries. Actually, the only thing of the entire kit that I own is this.
Your pot, yeah. Your pot and your spoon.
Wait, this tank's mine.
It's taking yours too.
Right.
I
Pie, the
think
spoon,
you bought some of your own bungs and
the kegs are mine.
one of them.
One of them.
One was my keg. One the original keg was mine.
Okay. So I don't own anything. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff.
One keg is yours. You bought your own keg. The one keg was my original keg. The one keg that we had. You know what I mean? And then I got those 2 kegs for Reed. So. And then you bought your own keg. You bought your own boiling kettle and spoon. And then you bought some water blocks and bungs and stuff. But it's fine. I mean, it's for us to use, you know. But my thing is, it's just that's a cool kit. It's a good starter kit for somebody who wants to get started. But we're already started. You know, I mean, I don't need all that stuff.
It's like buying another Squire Telecaster when you already own a nice Telecaster.
Yeah, I got you. So I could use another keg just to keep the rotation going, but it's fine.
Well, so do you not want that stuff from Jimmy Austin?
Well, I do because that's a mash tun. That's different gear. That's gear we don't have yet. You know what I mean? That's all grain gear. The kegs will come in handy because we needed the extra kegs anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're saying, as we are already planning on grabbing that stuff from Jimmy, we don't need to grab his other stuff. But
Right.
That's $500 for that.
Yeah, $500.
That's like
The only thing of use I
2
would
full
have got.
tanks of
The
gas.
only thing I would. I know, right? The only thing that would have been useful for me at least, or for us maybe, would be the other keg. I guess the bottle rack would have been good for you. It's a drying rack and just put the bottles upside down. You know, but I don't need 2 more carboys. I don't need all the other accessories that was coming in that little box. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $300 for all that seems kind of high when we're getting a mash tun and more kegs for $200.
Right.
I mean,
This is definitely not.
it's not Newcastle.
It's not Newcastle.
Way too light.
Yeah.
Light in color, just light in body. You know.
It's not malty enough either.
No, I bet it's that accidental beer. It was probably what was supposed to be your lager.
So it just turned into kind of a
turned into a ale.
Amber. Would you call that an amber? I call that an amber. Looks an amber to me.
Yeah, I'd say it's an amber ale. Oh, my snubber is very sensitive.
Yeah, it's
I
really
mean,
good.
it's the micro turns like, you know, like, whoa.
Well, I don't think these things were meant to be quite as precise as we're asking them to be. You know what I mean? I mean, they're like for steaming crabs and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely for crabs or doing a turkey fry. You know,
yeah,
versus pretty much
get it hot, full blast. That's what
get
you
the
want.
oil hot. Yeah, if you're doing a turkey or yeah, crabs, big old pot of crabs. Yeah,
Exactly.
sounds good too, man. Boil some crabs and do some fresh crab legs, crab legs.
Steamed turkey and deep fried crabs.
Oh yeah. There is a type of crab that they do fry it like that. You eat the shell and all. It's like a soft shell crab.
Like a soft shell crab?
Yeah, but it's deep fried. You just eat it just like anything else.
I've never had a soft shell crab.
I don't think I have either. I've had people I've had dinner with that had it like as part of a meal, but I just don't think I ever tried any or
I would.
had the gall to
When I was
do it.
Well, yeah, because you gotta think you're eating that thing guts and all.
I know, right? It's like
Everything. And I've had squid guts, and I'll tell you, they're not good. Squid guts, not good. Right? I'll give soft shell crab. I have had raw crab before. In Hawaii, I wasn't actually in Hawaii when I had this, but in Hawaii, there's like these little spidery crab type deal. They're like blue. Anyways, yeah, they just eat them straight. They just pop the legs off and just kind of squeeze the leg like this orange gooey tube thing. And it's salty. That's about it. Salty. I liked it. I'd do it again.
Okay.
Fit in with locals.
When you're Rome, right?
That's right.
I've been to Rome before. Rome is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, I've been there. I went to the Vatican twice.
Yeah, went to the Vatican, visited the Vatican. Didn't go inside. We just kind of, like, we were within the Vatican, but we didn't go through the St. Peter's Basilica and all that. You know, we didn't do any of that stuff.
Why not?
Too long a line. Oh, we were just like, nah.
You weren't on an MWR tour?
No, we just went on our own.
Oh, see, I went on an MWR tour. So.
Yeah. No, the ship pulled into Naples, and
That's where we pulled in.
And some friends and I were like, hey, let's take overnight. So we requested for overnight, got approved, and just took the European version of a bullet train over to Rome, and only spent one night in Rome, because the first night we spent in Naples, kind of hang out in Naples, and then we went to Rome, spent the night, saw some more. In fact, the hotel we stayed in used to be, like, here's the Vatican. The hotel we stayed in was connected to the Vatican, and it used to be way back in the day where like the Padres would stay, like the friars and stuff. It was like a little. Initially, it was like a hotel for the clergy when they would visit the Vatican.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I literally slept at the Vatican, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But with that, you got some movement.
Yeah, we're gonna launch into that.
Just a minute and a half on mine.
I'm gonna get it under control before I add my hops.
I'm so mad at myself because one of the phones that I broke had all kinds of cool pictures of stuff in Rome, you know.
You know,
Some
that's
of it was
why
like postcard worthy. It was just so lucky the pictures I got, you know.
I have a friend who is a professional photographer, and like one of her mission statements is print your photos, print your photos, print your photos. She would probably say print your damn photos, but she's old and Christian, so she probably just says print your photos.
Gotcha.
But if she was that type of person, she would say print your damn photos.
Yeah, I remember at the time I actually still had a Facebook account, and so I posted some of that stuff. Some people thought they were fake. I'm like, no, they're not fake. This is there, man. It was one of me. Someone took a picture of me right next to the Coliseum, and you got the Coliseum back there. And that's one of the ones that was accused of being fake. Like they thought they photoshopped myself on the footage. I'm like, no, I was there, man. It's from my phone. The phone had a really good camera. It was one of my old Android phones. I had this, but at the time I didn't let anything upload to the cloud, which was my mistake. I should have let it upload to my account, man, as backup.
Still hate the cloud.
I'm not a big fan of it, but it would have served a purpose in this case.
True. Hey, we should just throw these random hops in here.
Go ahead. You do it. Let me know what you think.
Well,
Those are the ones I forgot.
I know.
When I was those are flavoring hops for
Yeah.
I think for the Dubert.
I'm not gonna throw random
The
hops.
finishing hops. I mean,
I'm not gonna throw random hops into a porter.
yeah, I know. I need to go. So did I.
We should use them eventually.
Yeah, I'll probably use them. Figure out. Next time I do my own recipe, I'll see if I can work those hops into it.
Well, aren't they part of your hops and aren't they part of your recipe anyway?
Not this recipe, no.
Well, not this recipe, but one of the recipes you did.
The Belgian Duvel, which I didn't like,
Oh, that's right. You didn't like that one.
so I don't think I'll do that one again.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it was experimental.
Well, I think you made a good point. You're like, I might not like doubles and triples and basically
Right.
Belgians.
Which is kind of funny because way back in the day, Belgium was like beer capital for a long time.
Well, sure.
And people would travel just to drink Belgian beer.
People have flavors and tastes, and things get trendy. And just because it's trendy doesn't mean you like it.
Oh, I know.
Like there's people like, oh, sushi. I'm like, yay, raw fish.
You
No.
can have it all.
Yeah, all you, man.
There's some sushis I will eat, but most cases I'm not eating. I don't like sushi.
I don't hate sushi. Like those little raw crab things. Those were good. But I'm sure not gonna travel very far.
Right. I think that's drained well enough.
We had a guy in one of my commands. We are floating around the world. This guy's like, hey, yeah, man, let's get together and we can all go out for sushi. Like, why am I gonna waste my time away from the United States eating sushi?
Right?
We're in Dubai. Let's eat something.
Let's eat some
Bedouin.
stick or something.
Something that they make here. I don't know what Bedouins made, but let's find it. Shawarmas, not sushi.
Okay. Add a little flamey flame. Bring this up for the sticky.
All right.
Hopefully I can do this without getting sticky. It's not going to count.
My timer is going down.
There we go. Come off nice and easy. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Good form.
Yeah, this is definitely just a beer. I'm just a beer in the world, 'cause that's all that you'll let me be. I'm just a beer.
Totally write a parody song.
I have written parody songs. I've also written regular old novelty songs, like the Prowler song. That's a great song, man. It really was. I got emails from all over the world on that song.
Oh, nice. Bunch of proud of people, huh?
Oh yeah, they were all ex-Prowler people, but they were all over Japan and Europe. And just, hey man, I heard your song. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Well, the thing is, the truth just connects with people.
True,
And
right?
that song was hardcore truth.
Alright, that's going. No stick. No stick.
You can do it, man. I have faith in you. Careful. Careful.
No, I saw what you did earlier with this. I'm like, that's a great idea. I think I got a little bit sticky from the edge of the bag, but oh well. Not like it normally is with us, you know.
Oh, look at your fingers real quick. I mean, this is all going to boil. It's all going to be sterile at the end. You're all right. So I've definitely got textbook rolling boil going on here.
Nice. The way it should be.
Yeah, yours is much lighter. Oh, look at that. No drips. Well done.
Yes.
We're getting good at this.
Getting better. Hell yeah.
Next step, partial mash. What is partial mash, by the way? I thought we were partial mash until people said, no, you're extract brewers. Okay, so what's partial mash?
You mash grains just like you would do all grain, but not as much.
For like non-beer beers?
No, you would comp it with something like a can of this, but then do some of your mashing on your own.
Oh,
Just partial mash.
so you're taking all the extra time, but sacrificing all the cool control you get from being all grain? I see my website.
I'm not going to partial mash. I'm going to go from extract to all grain brewing.
Yeah.
Some people think partial mashing is a logical step, but
Well, it makes no sense. I mean, all you do is like, you do all grain, but you don't do all grain, and then you throw a jug of that in? Is that what you're saying?
kind of, if I remember right. It's like you're only mashing part of the grain bill, not
Right.
as much, you know. So you might still use some extracts, but you're also mashing your own.
Gotcha.
And
Look at that, you didn't even have to double dip yours. Well, not that one. Not that one either. Good job.
it's feeling good.
And modest. Modest, one of his better qualities.
So you can put dry malt in there. Can I have the blade?
Yeah, I actually sharpened it too, by the way, so I'm not saying being incredibly careful because I've probably used it quite a bit since then. It's a little duller, but it is sharper than the last time you used it.
It would be void.
Yeah, it will be void.
It would be void.
Yeah. Like, it probably will actually cut plastic this time. Yeah, see, that would not have happened last time. That would have been more of a rip and tear.
It took a little more effort, you know. Yeah, I read the partial mash procedure in the Papazia book.
Papazian, Papageno.
And he
You know what
said
that's
that-
from?
What's up?
Papageno. You know what that's from? Are you sure?
I don't remember.
You would know. But that's the character from Magic Flute, the
Oh.
bird guy. Papazian, Papageno. Just popped into my head because of Papazian.
But even like in his book, he was just like, yeah, I mean, you can use this as a stepping stone, but you can go right into all grain if you want.
I think you might as well.
Some people even start all grain, they even do extract brewing. They just, you know. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. You know, it's just like how comfortable are you taking the step? You know, the partial mash gives you, you know, kind of like a taste of all grain because you might just do a partial mash of like maybe a gallon or two worth of stuff. You know, then the rest is using like using dry malt or something. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. Give me, let's see, is this garbage ready to go, garbage?
Yeah, that can go in the garbage. The other cans will go recycled in.
I'm gonna say the cans are recyclable. Might get a little windy. Windy.
So by doing it this way, hopefully I kind of avoided some of the foam mess.
What? You mean like constantly stirring?
Yeah, constantly kind of keeping it whirlpooling as I was putting into small amounts of the dry malt, and it seems to work, man.
So you're not gonna like get it almost all the way to boiling and then leave and let it boil over?
Yeah, that serves the plan. All right. I think I did a little better this time. Now I can bring up my heat. Get you going. I'm going to go ahead and grab my hops. What's my first hop here? So Columbus, which I'm guessing is growing around the Columbus River basin, maybe?
Probably not because it's the Columbia.
Oh.
Maybe it's grown in Ohio.
Yeah. Could be. Actually, I'll just do that. The kits like this, the hops are always put together instead of the way we do our own.
What's that?
Oh, I was gonna get the hop out, but they're the little vacuum sealed kits that they put together.
Yeah, they do theirs.
Yeah. I mean, it'd probably be fine, but I'd rather keep it refrigerated as long as possible. But I think it'd be fine. I think if you leave it out for a week or something, it might kind of go bad, you know.
I think it'll get stale is what'll happen because it's dry.
Yeah, it's freeze dried or whatever, you know.
So I would think the freeze dried ones, you don't even need to worry about it.
I'm not 100% sure they're freeze dried, but I just know those hot pellets are compressed and, you know.
Right.
And they're typically refrigerated. So
I am going to rinse the wort chiller off and then throw it in my wort.
Well, I washed it earlier and rinsed it, but you can always rinse it again because it's been on the garage floor.
I'm gonna say it's sitting on the garage floor. I'm gonna rinse it again.
Well, I'll just let you know you don't have to go crazy. Let's, you know, because I did wash it earlier.
I got you. Yeah, I'm just gonna rinse the bottom of it.
Yeah, man. Do your thing. Maybe I should buy another bucket. It's not a tall bucket, but it's a short bucket.
Yeah.
It's kind of a place
Something to
keep
hold
that.
things.
Yeah, just a place to keep that little tool when we're not using it.
That might be a good idea.
It's like a little 10-gallon bucket or something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, not 10-gallon. A little 2-gallon bucket.
That too. I just realized I said, yeah, about a 10-gallon bucket.
Like, wait a minute, no, we don't need 10 gallons. I thought the sun was going to come out. It said the sun showed for a minute there, you know. Now it's all got haze gray again.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. I'm not even sticky. I went, woo.
Oh, first one.
Alrighty, man.
So think about writing a requiem.
Really?
Yeah,
For a person or just the style,
but the style.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you had like a person in mind. Like I know Mozart he wrote his for his dad. You know what I mean?
Right. No, but
Did Handel do a requiem also?
I think Handel might have done one.
I know someone else has a requiem out there. At least this one goes right.
Fauré has a requiem that's real famous. Mozart's requiem is real famous.
Right. Sure. Anyway, yeah, man. I think you mentioned that once before. You were thinking about that.
I just don't know if I want to do it like Brahms did it, or if I want to go old school traditional. So Brahms' requiem is very famous because number one, it's in German.
Huh.
And number two, Brahms made up his own text. Of course, Brahms was Protestant.
Okay.
But then again, so was Bach. I don't know if Bach wrote a requiem.
I've never heard of a requiem from Bach.
No, I don't hear it. Bach wrote the Masses
Right.
and the Passions.
He wrote. He seemed to have written a lot of concertos, little fugues and stuff. I know he has one called Little Fugue, but he has a lot of fugues. Little fugues.
Yeah.
Just in his style of writing, that Baroque style.
Well, the thing about folks like Vivaldi and Bach and stuff is that their pieces tend to be shorter and they wrote a lot of them.
Right.
Part of it's like, from what I hear, Bach wrote like a piece every week. I don't know if all of them made it to be preserved. He was a church musician, so he was writing music for his church.
Right.
It's like, we're going to write something for this week type deal. So, get a little excited here.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, let's find out who wrote requiems, even though I can't read. I don't have my glasses. We'll fake it.
Let's try to boil. Alright, guess I'll go and get those hops ready. Hop number one, yes. Oh yeah, I have boilage.
Okay. Yeah, slow down, keep that under control.
Get that knife back again. Shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on to it.
Yeah, hold on. Kniff.
What is this? Packet number one.
That's a little too excited.
Let's get. Some movement so it doesn't boil over.
Looks good.
A little bit of the time. Yeah. I'm doing hot packet one, right? Because that would just be my luck. I put the wrong hops in. All right, this will be another mistaken beer that, in actuality, it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna ruin it. It's gonna change the characteristics. That's all it's gonna do.
Well, like this bugger.
It'll
So I'm pretty
just
sure-
be different,
I'm pretty sure you're right. This was the mistake, right? This is where the yeast got swapped. And a perfectly drinkable beer.
Yeah, it tastes fine to me, honestly.
It's not.
I think it needs a slight bit more carbonation, but otherwise it tastes fine, I think. But then again, I like beers that are more carbonated.
I think it kind of slides.
Some people don't care,
It kind of slides into the. Well, I guess I would call this an amber. I guess.
I call it an amber ale, yeah.
Yeah, based on color. But it's got some hop characteristics, but not a lot.
Right. There you are.
Kind of malty, not overly complex. My tongue's not confused.
Right, going, what is this? Is it beer or is it orange juice? Wow, it's got some serious aroma. All right, I have good ooblies. Come on, you can do it.
There we go. Talk to me, Wikipedia.
The bane of college professors worldwide.
Yeah, well, you and I both know how to use it. Just drop down into the
Exactly.
reference section and use those.
This is where I go use the references, exactly. Because those tend to be a little more accepted by at least my college professors, as citations and stuff. Yeah, I learned both MLA and APA. My undergrad school used MLA,
I learned both of them too.
and then while my grad school work was APA.
I prefer APA, but I would rather just not do either one. It's like, who says this? I say it. What do you mean you say it? I mean, I looked it up. Why would I lie to you? It's true. We don't believe you. Well, I don't care. So let's see. Verdi, Berlioz, Saint-Saëns, Brahms. And Brahms was different. Dvorak, Fauré, Duruflé, and of course Mozart.
Right.
And others. I mean, originally they were supposed to be performed at the Requiem Mass,
Right.
but really by the time, particularly, I've listened and studied Fauré's, not so much Dvorak's.
Oh, here's a unit for you.
Oh, that is like a 4,000 point unit.
Wow.
I don't know what it'll do. It's like a nuclear bomb. Anyways, Fauré's is definitely a performance piece.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of them that are performance pieces. Mozart's was probably religious. Obviously it was for his dad. It was intended to be. No, so the thing I'm waffling on is whether to write a proper Latin requiem.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean, there's easy parts about that. Number one, Latin is the most singable language in all of history. You've heard me say I don't believe they actually ever spoke in Rome. They just went around singing to each other. To say good morning was like 5 stanzas in a cadence. But then there's Brahms, who, like I said, Brahms just picked his own chunks of the Bible that he felt went with funeral mass. Brahms is much more cheerful requiem, if you will, because a lot of the requiem, of the Latin Rite requiem, focuses very much on the death, the sins, the repentance, kind of doom and gloom stuff. And Brahms picked things that were more on the happy side. You're a Christian, you died, so you went to heaven. And that's, I mean, if you really take Christianity whole, like you really say, yes, I believe this. And it's like, oh, my dad died. Isn't it sad? No, not really. Because where he is at is a heck of a lot better than we're at. In fact, I kind of wish I could follow.
Right.
I think that's why it's against the law to commit suicide. Like the Christian law. Because everybody off themselves.
I think it's against law too. Even though it's not like you can get prosecuted for it. But I know
Right.
you can get prosecuted if you encourage someone to commit suicide. Like, hey, do it, no balls.
Which is really weird because we still have all these death with dignity laws at the same time.
I know it's so contradictory sometimes.
Although that stuff's twisted. Because I forget the country, might be Belgium. It's over in Europe somewhere. Maybe it's the Netherlands. I read about it. But there's one country that they allow their death with dignity law all the way down to 12 years old.
Whoa, wow.
And it's not for things like terminal cancer. It's like severe Down syndrome. This child will never have a good quality of life. It's better for them if we just...
Right.
And that's the problem with allowing laws like that. And then you push it all the way down to 1. And then we just kill humans whenever we want to. As long as it's government sanctioned, it's cool.
Kind of like a war. If you think about it.
True.
I mean, granted, the targets are typically military targets, typically,
Mhm.
but, you know.
But
That's
Like-
why you gotta be so careful about laws like that. It's like, no, you cannot help someone kill themselves.
Right.
But it's like, no, find the dignity in the struggle. But they're shitting all over themselves and they're puking all over themselves. It's like, yeah, that's gross. But find the dignity in that. You don't off them. Yeah, your life is gonna be hard. But then you're gonna die.
There we go.
I obviously do not endorse death with dignity laws. I don't think they're right.
It's a slippery slope. We studied it in a ethics class I took.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of them. We actually spent a lot of time on that one. That was one of the first topics we actually stuck with for a while at the class. And of course, Dr. Kevorkian came up, discussion,
Oh yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I mean, he was one of the first.
To where I think like the line like where I was not in agreement with it, but where I was accepting of it more was if the person was of sound mind and can make the choice themselves. Yes, is it suicide, but they know they're terminal and don't want to go through this stuff, then that's her choice. But like someone who can't make that decision, who are you to make that decision for them? You know what I mean? That's where I kind of stood on it.
Well, that brings it even.
Yeah.
That makes an even more twisted ethical argument because now, it's like almost classist. It's like this autistic kid, he can't make that decision.
Right.
He's got cancer. He's gonna die. It's gonna be really rough on the way out. But because he's autistic, we can't.
He's not of sound mind. Yeah.
Right. But yet this person over here, they're fine, so they can just off themselves. And it's just like
That's why I think it's such a slippery slope.
it's a hard one.
That's a real hard one, yeah. Like I think the only way I would accept it was like there had to be a very like Swiss cheese had to align a certain way kind of thing where it'd be acceptable. This is my personal beliefs on it.
Right, I get you. No, and I come down pretty hard on nope, we just don't let it go. And the reason I do that is because, I have lots of beliefs where I recognize that by holding that belief, bad things can happen. One that's easy and usually non-controversial to talk about, so that's why it's easy, is the First Amendment. It's like First Amendment, almost everybody says it's good. It's like, that's right. So I can criticize the president. I can say that my Christian religion is good and you should follow it too. That Islamic guy over there can say that his religion is good and I should follow it too.
Right.
And it also means that the KKK gets to walk down my street and say racial slurs and have their flags and say that the white people are the best people on the planet. And vice versa, if there's like a black or a Latino or some other version of the KKK that's just as bad, they get to do the same thing.
Right. That's what it means, yeah.
And so it's like, but I'm an extreme First Amendment guy. It's like, yeah, you don't infringe on the First Amendment. Yeah, I gotta listen to this guy. Yeah, fortunately I have earbuds and a volume switch, so probably okay.
I don't have to listen to this guy.
Right. But I can't shut him up,
Right.
And so
Unless it goes against your narrative. Then strike out.
here we go. But yeah, it's so it's one of those things. You take the good with the bad.
Right.
And you can apply that to any amendment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The original Bill of Rights. I've been like
No excuse.
okay, spewing wisdom or pontificating.
Pontificating.
Pontificating. I will catch us. I had to rinse that.
I know you were.
Took me time.
Usually it's me that's catching up. That's why I'm capitalizing on this, having fun with it.
You should totally capitalize on it. But it's one of those things, you take the good with the bad from extreme things. And then you look at, I forget, I think when I read it, now granted it was on the internet, so, take it for what it's worth, but I think it was LBJ who said, which is so weird because I don't respect that guy at all. But he said you should not judge legislation based on the good that it might do, but you should base it on the harm that it might cause.
That's logical.
Because I tell you what, in this country, I think it's been pretty well borne out pretty much in the world actually, that the good that might happen sometimes happens, but the bad that can happen almost always happens.
Kind of defers to the negative, it seems.
Yep. Well, it's just human. It's humanity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
We
dealing
haven't
with.
figured it out yet, man.
Well, it's like dealing with the homeless downtown, right? So we've got the crazies and the lazies, right? I mean, there's some of those guys that, man, you are broken. Somebody needs to scoop you up and take care of you.
Right.
And personally,
there are people that really need help.
Yep.
And there are people that pretend to need help.
right. And I would spend my tax dollars on the crazies.
Right.
You know, I would do it. I would sacrifice a few other things. I wouldn't increase my taxes. I would just not pay for some other stuff that we pay for that I think is a waste of time.
Right.
You know, like fire departments. What do you mean? Get a hose, dude. We don't need these people. Don't you have insurance? Yeah, it just got a lot more expensive because now they know it's going to the ground. Still, point being is that for the crazies, I would pay for that. But here's the deal. So you look at someone like one of the folks downtown and you say, you are crazy. And so the cops show up in the back, off to your little room. It's like you got a bed and a shower and a TV, maybe a little yard to walk around. You're kind of like a prisoner, but you're more cared for than that, you know,
Right.
type deal. But you're still a prisoner. You can't go out the front gate because then you end up high on heroin behind DK Market, you know, or something.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we've seen our share of
Yeah.
high people on heroin in the parking lot of the grocery store. It's like, is anybody gonna do anything about this guy? You know what I mean?
Well, you know what's sad is that you can't do anything. Nobody can do anything. The only people that can do anything are the cops, and they can't do anything.
They don't do anything because there's nothing they can do.
Right. It's like
It's
so
just
you
a waste
can't-
of money
it's
to
like
try to
we've got
process
this
these people. Man.
conflicting set of laws that prevents us from solving what is very obviously a problem. I'm sorry. High on heroin in a parking lot is a problem.
It's a problem, yeah.
You know, high on heroin in your bedroom, I still think that's a problem because heroin is one of those things that can kill you one shot.
Right.
You know, not like weed. You know, I don't think anybody's OD'd on weed.
I think it's impossible.
I don't know if it's. I think some people have eaten themselves to death. It was bad.
Maybe. I got the munchie.
I do know that constant use of marijuana can lead to some very severe gastrointestinal problems, like life-threatening type stuff.
Really?
I read an article. It was on the internet. It must be true.
I think it's the article credible.
Seemed incredible. I usually check things out. It wasn't BuzzFeed, I'll tell you
Like
that.
it's one of those things where it's like it's some extreme case that like there's no chance anybody does.
Well, it wasn't like the weekend warrior type deal. It was like someone who, you know, bowl for breakfast, bowl for lunch, bowl for dinner, and on the weekends, 3 bowls for getting ready for bed type deal. You know, people that were hitting it hard.
Wow. That's a lot, man. That would be, I don't know. I can't see someone. That must be someone who has nothing else to do in life but just be high all the time. I know you're just kind of embellishing for fun, but someone who smoked that much or even consumed whatever, however they took it in,
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like, you know, wake and bake all day, go to bed, before going to bed, bake, you know, have a second bake and then a third bake, you know. It's like, what else, what are you doing in life, man? What else are you doing? Are you just sitting around
Well, some people
laying on the couch eating potato chips because you got the munchies, you know what I mean?
some people float through life, you know, pretty much high. I mean, there's functional alcoholics out there.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they drink a lot, but they go to work. They
Yeah.
pay their bills.
And they don't look like they're drunk up
Yep.
people.
They just sail through life.
I remember but just experiencing some of that with people in the Navy, man. You know, functional
Mhm.
alcoholics. It's just like, hey chief, we need to talk to you, you know. And this guy was a chief, man, but he got relieved because he was one of those, you know.
Like, dude, you
can't come to work hammered, you know.
3 beers is not breakfast. I say as we just made a breakfast beer.
I know, right? One of my old main Spanish chiefs, he got sent home because man, he got to retire, but I think he ended up retiring sooner than he wanted to.
Well,
But you know, that's what it is.
so anyways, the thing is that so you've got these people downtown, and some of them have serious problems, and so part of me, the very pragmatic part of me, says, all right, You just make a law. Just scoop them up, throw them in their hotel sober up, and keep them there until they're completely sober, right? Here's the problem, because that's called civil commitment. There actually is a term for it, civil commitment, where you are a threat to yourself or others, and they come get you.
Right.
So you're not necessarily a criminal, right?
No,
But
you're going to be under observation.
just the way you are, it's like you are a threat, right? So here's the problem: when you get too loose with those laws, suddenly some of my views, that is not mentally stable. We don't believe that holding that view is a mentally stable point of view. You need to come with us. Your views, same deal. The right people get in power. Extreme fundamentalist Christian or extreme fundamentalist Muslim.
Right.
They manage to get things.
You're persecuted for your thoughts,
Right? Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of a Tom Cruise movie called Minority. I think it was Minority Report.
Yeah.
The movie.
Minority
Where
Report.
like you were getting in trouble for crimes
For pre-crime.
Pre-crime you're about to commit.
Yeah, they had the 3 precogs.
Yeah.
Those people that could see the future, kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. It's like this guy's gonna kill his wife, and so they get arrested before they actually commit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how did that work?
Yeah, it was actually, the movie itself wasn't amazing, but the thought,
Yeah.
the philosophical concept that it threw out there, it's like, yeah, that's a fun one to twist with.
Yeah, there's been a lot of not so good movies that had good ideas though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea behind the movie is like, this could have been a good story.
And then there've been a lot of big budget, not so good movies with not so good ideas behind them.
Yeah.
Like most everything else out of Hollywood.
I'm waiting for the next, original thing. Not a reboot.
You gotta watch indie films, follow the Sundance Festival. But even those, don't pay attention to the award shows on those things, right? For the independent films, because even those are just garbage. It's not, they're better than Hollywood because they're usually more original. But a lot of times the ones they give awards to, it's like, and this guy did it, and it was this person and this person fighting class, yada yada. And it's like, it was a 2.5 hour sermon on homosexuality. No, it wasn't a good movie. I know why he gave it the award, because it boldly addressed that issue.
It addressed a social thing, yeah.
Right, but that's what it was, is a 2.5 hour sermon. The characters were not engaging. The scenarios that they ran into were just so one-sided and not nuanced. Because tell you what, that particular issue, in this point, is not blunt gay bashing poor gay people.
Right.
It is not that blunt. It is.
How much time you got left on your?
Probably about 15 minutes.
You might want to do your carb away.
Oh.
We'll get it rinsed out and then kind of set up. The bucket's in there with the funnel and all that stuff. So.
I have 21 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I probably should.
Get your water in there, kind of thing. And your other water. You can go and smack my daughter around if you want. And her in there. Not really, folks. It's a joke.
No, it's not.
He's like Uncle Jamie,
I'm about to go do child abuse.
Smack my daughter up.
I never understood the popularity of that song, even when it was popular. When I was
Something like 100 years old now. It's like 100 years old now.
Well, no, because I'm not 100. Are you 100? You look really good for 100. I'm telling you. Smooth skin, bright eyes, mental faculty still there, mostly.
Mostly.
You didn't see that.
You okay?
Nope.
You want to go and kill the camera?
Huh?
Want to kill the camera, sure? We didn't even get our lizard bots talking to us again, so I think we're like off the radar now.
Nobody cares about us. All right, folks. Thanks for not watching. Appreciate it. It was awesome. You stumbled across this in the year 2073 and it's still on there. Random Facebook channel and YouTube.
Maybe we'll be the saviors of the world in 2073 because
Kind of like Bill and Ted.
we're the last like people that brewed beer, and so by that time they'll be like, "Oh, here's the secret to brewing beer."
Eat pretzels and drink beer while boiling beer over. They'll watch all our podcasts and it's like, apparently you have to be idiots to do this. Who knows? All right, hey, relax.
Don't worry,
Have
I'm
a home brew.
brew.